on Colorado Sports Connection. We come to you from the 110th National Western Stock Show and Rodeo, and we visit with Miss Rodeo America 2016, Catherine Merck. Colorado Sports Connection starts now. Hello rodeo fans, and welcome to the 110th National Western Stock Show and Rodeo. Well, I'm here with all the pretty cowgirls, and today we're with Miss Rodeo America, Catherine Merck. Catherine, well, first of all, welcome to the National Western.
Thank you so much.
And how has Denver, Colorado been treating you?
It has been amazing. I've been here actually since January 11th, and I'm having a great time. I've been all over the city, from the state capitol to right here at the rodeo.
Now, before we start talking about your pageant, you know, in Las Vegas, when you won the crown of Miss Rodeo America, tell us right now, since you've been to Denver, what, 2 weeks?
Yes.
Tell us what you love about the city of Denver, Colorado.
Honestly, the people are so friendly, and I love the mountains. I'm from Spokane, Washington, so I grew up with mountains and snow. I feel right at home here in Denver.
You know, you're talking about Washington. I also believe you're the first Rodeo America to come from the state of Washington?
I am, so we are so excited. I'm the first to bring the title to the Evergreen State.
And talk about what that means to you personally, to go out there now, not only to represent the sport of rodeo, but now you're out there, your home state.
It means so much. I was born and raised in Spokane. I left home for college, and I've actually returned home for law school. My whole family is there, and the people who inspired me to be an ambassador of rodeo. The best Miss Rodeo Washington had ever done at the Miss Rodeo America pageant is the reason that I became Miss Rodeo Washington. Debbie Copenhaver, Deb Copenhaver's daughter, was first runner-up.
Okay. Now, one of the things I want you guys to know about Miss Rodeo America, she does have an athletic background. Now, she played the sport of rugby at Notre Dame.
I did.
Tell us about that experience.
So what happened is I played flag football. We have our inner halls. It's all women's and all men's halls. And we have one of the most active inner hall sports programs in the country. So flag football was wonderful. And then I had a chance to study abroad in Scotland at the University of St. Andrews. So I studied finance and medieval studies. And one of my first friends there was from Glasgow. So we didn't completely understand each other when we first met. And she saw pictures of me playing football and thought, oh great, you can play rugby. So she didn't understand there was a difference between flag football and tackling. But that was the best thing I did, studying abroad. I had a built-in group of friends. And then I came home, and the women's program at Notre Dame had just started.
Now tell us a little bit about the sport of rugby. I mean, you're out there tackling, but what are some of the rules and what are the goals to winning the game?
So I have to tell you, my mom has never seen me play rugby. She's never actually watched an entire rugby game. She gets nervous, so she tried to learn about it through reading. And the best article we ever found was, the goal of the game is to score more points. Score more points always.
And that's it.
So just like any other sport, but it is, unlike football, there's no forward passing. We have side passing, and it is a full contact sport, even for the women. So I was a forward, and I scrummed, which is the full contact at the beginning. And we had lots of bumps and bruises, but it's an amazing sport.
Now, you're here at the Denver National Western Stock Show and Rodeo. Tell us about your favorite event and why it's your favorite event.
Okay, so my favorite event is actually saddle bronc riding.
Okay.
And that's partially because I got into horses at a later age and spent the first 12 years of my life convincing my parents I needed a horse, and started out barrel racing, and I ended up finding reining. So willfully guided horses. And the man who taught me how to ride horses is actually a retired saddle bronc rider. So I call him my uncle, and he got me into rodeo. He started judging. I started coming to more and more rodeos. So it's something really close to my heart. It's a classic sport, and I love history.
You know, one of the things I want the folks out there to know, it's like for those of you that have played baseball, imagine going to a game and you have to borrow someone else's baseball glove. Well, that's what you ladies have to do, because you go to all these rodeos, you have to borrow somebody else's horse.
Yes.
Talk about that experience on all these rodeos that you're going to be visiting, and you're going to have to get on somebody else's horse and not your own.
It's a true test of horsemanship, and I did something similar as Miss Rodeo Washington. I traveled and rode other horses, and I loved it. I love getting to know their personalities And I feel that I learn as a horsewoman from every horse I get on. Sometimes it's a little easier than others to get on these horses, but I feel very lucky that people are willing to let me borrow their horses.
So now when we see you out here riding, through the arena, waving to all the fans, what's going through your mind when you're thinking out, you're out here and you're like, here I am representing the sport of rodeo as Miss Rodeo America?
I don't think I can even describe it. My first wave as Miss Rodeo America, I said it was the fastest and slowest minute of my life. It's so much fun. Every time I get to carry the flag, I think this is the best job in the world. I'm so honored to carry the American flag, so honored to represent the sport of rodeo. So I think probably just happiness and excitement. I can't keep a goofy grin off my face.
Now, you talk about representing the sport.
Yes.
Now, you're a role model now. You have all the little girls and got the kids coming up to you. Talk about how much you cherish that experience.
It is amazing. Rodeo is so much about mentorship, and I think it's an opportunity for me to share the traditional values of rodeo with the new generation. The mentorship, hard work, honesty, and good sportsmanship. Honestly, competitors help out their closest competitors, and that's something I strive to do as a queen. I tried to do that throughout my queen competitions, and I really hope to make a positive impact by even smiling at anyone on any given day.
Now, is there that one special moment that there's a kid out there that just in the back of your mind that was just very special to you?
There is, actually, and she's one of the contestants' kids. Her name is little Peyton Tryon. Her dad is a roper, and her life goal is to be a rodeo queen. So the impact that I have had on that girl's life just by holding this title is huge. And all she wants is to be a rodeo queen. So I have the opportunity to define, what does that mean? And to me, a rodeo queen is a hardworking cowgirl who's kind to everyone around her. So hopefully I can inspire little Peyton to grow up, to work hard, and to always be kind and positive.
That's great. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about your education and the role it takes in becoming Miss Rodeo America. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with Miss Rodeo America right here on Colorado Sports Connection. Welcome back to Colorado Sports Connection. We're here at the National Western Stock Show and Rodeo talking with Miss Rodeo America, Catherine Merck. Now, Catherine, take us through that experience in Las Vegas when you were getting the crown. I believe it's an 8-day event. Talk about that time.
It is. What I like to tell people is the big things that set it apart from a traditional pageant setting are our written exam on equine science, rodeo rules, rodeo knowledge, and horsemanship. So we say our talent is horsemanship, but like we were discussing earlier, we jump on horses we've never ridden before. We have no opportunity to warm up. And that horsemanship score is about 1/3 of the overall points on the board at the pageant.
Okay.
So we do all of that, all sorts of extemporaneous speaking, extensive interview process. We have a fashion show where we model the latest styles from Wrangler, and it's wonderful. It honestly was one of the most fun weeks of my life. I got 0 sleep, but it was a blast.
And talk about the experience about meeting all the other contestants from around this country and the friends that you got to make.
So we are a little different that way too, because most of the girls, so the new state queens are all here. There's been about 17 of them coming in and out, so they'll really get to know each other throughout the year before they compete this next December in Vegas. So that was the cherry on top of my year as Miss Rodeo Washington, my last week with my best friends as our respective states. And I also had the opportunity to meet several girls who I hadn't traveled with, and they've become lifelong friends. There was 33 of us that went through that 8 days, and it is a grueling 8 days. So you can take that experience as a positive, as most of us did, and we truly bonded during that time.
Now, what about the time like they introduce and they tell the audience, here are the top 10. Then you get into the top 5, and then it's just you and the runner-up. What's
Yes.
going through your mind?
So I was a lot calmer than I ever anticipated I could have been, because I knew that I had truly left it on the field. And I knew that no one could ever say I hadn't been myself that whole week. So I had a sense of calm. I knew there was nothing else I could do. The top 5 question, after the top 5 are announced, we're sequestered and each brought up on stage and asked the same question. And that was the calmest I had been for any question all pageant, and I was asked a question I'm incredibly passionate about, which is where the PRCA is going.
Sure.
So I didn't even have to think. I just was able to talk, and I knew that I'd done my best, and I couldn't have done anything else.
So here you are now, they announce you as Miss Rodeo America. Can you tell the audience out there for the year 2016 your responsibilities as the ambassador of rodeo?
Well, I'm the face of professional rodeo. So as an ambassador, I represent the PRCA not only at rodeos, but at speaking events. I have the opportunity to educate fans about what rodeo truly means. So everything from school visits to going out, I had the opportunity to visit the state capitol, talking about agriculture, and just making sure that we keep our Western way of life. I'll travel over 120,000 miles this year, about 340 days out of the year. So it is a full-time job, but it's the best job in the world.
You know, talking with you, I also, and watching you here at the rodeo, I see that your passion is being with people. While you're visiting here in Denver, I believe you also went to the Children's Hospital.
Yes.
Share that experience with us.
That's something that's really special for me in that when I was younger, I actually had double jaw surgery and had my jaw wired shut. Okay. So I had some people who told me, it's gonna be okay. They distracted me because it is a long, grueling process when you are not feeling well, and it is so easy to just not be positive, and especially for children who don't always understand what's going on. So we had the opportunity to be part of an event that took the rodeo to the hospital. We had stick horses there. I handed out paper Miss Rodeo America crowns, and we put smiles on their faces. So that was an amazing feeling for me, to be able to just bring a little joy into each of those families' day.
So when the kids see you and you see the smile on their face, you know, what major impact did it have on you personally?
It has a huge impact on me because I try to wake up every day and think, you know, I have the opportunity to make one person's day a little better today just by smiling at them. So an experience like that is amazing for me. I have the opportunity to impact so many people and make them smile. So it really it fills my heart and lifts me up.
You know, we're gonna take another quick break, but you talk about with children. Now, I also know you have an important message for the young children out there on education.
Yes, I do.
We're gonna talk about you also going to law school.
Yes.
We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with Miss Rodeo America, Catherine Merck, right here on Colorado Sports Connection. Welcome back to Colorado Sports Connection. We're here at the 110th National Western Stock Show and Rodeo, and we're talking with Miss Rodeo America, Catherine Merck. And what we want to discuss right now with you, especially you telling the young audience out there, is education. Here you are, you're going to law school, and I believe you're in your final year?
Yes, I am.
Talk about your education and the importance of getting that degree.
I really feel that education creates opportunity, and education has created almost every opportunity and has led me to be able to hold the position and the honor of Miss Rodeo America. I graduated from the University of Notre Dame in finance and medieval studies, and I chose finance because finance is applicable to every situation, and working hard in school really has opened doors. I am incredibly passionate about the Western way of life, which is why I choose to be a rodeo ambassador and why I chose to go to law school, because law school is allowing me to represent that on a larger level. I'm going into agricultural estate planning, land use litigation, and water rights. So yes, I'm passionate about rodeo, but I'm taking that in a different direction as an advocate for rodeo and for agriculture as a lawyer. So working hard throughout my education through high school opened the door to allow me to go to Notre Dame to meet my best friends, play rugby, study abroad in Scotland, learn how to jump horses. And working hard in undergraduate allowed me to come back home to Spokane and go to Gonzaga. It also opened the door to scholarships, which has allowed me to go to law school. I have academic scholarships combined with the scholarships that I've earned from Miss Rodeo America, which are life-changing. I'm going to be able to graduate from law school debt-free because of this program.
And when was that one moment, you know, that happened to you when you said, yes, being a lawyer is for me?
So we joke that people have told me since I was about 5 years old that I should be a lawyer, but I never bought it. And I had a lot of time. I mentioned earlier, I had my jaw wired shut, and I actually couldn't talk for 3 months. And you can probably tell I really enjoy talking.
And I was going to say, that probably had to be tough for you, a tough 3 months.
That was very tough for me, but not being able to talk gave me a lot of time to think about who I am and who I want to be as a person. So I thought about my specific talents. And I love working with people, I love advocating for people, and frankly, I love to talk. So the law is a perfect place for me to combine all of my passions into one by advocating for people and furthering their hopes and dreams.
You know, last year we had a chance to talk with Fallon Taylor.
Yes.
And when we asked her thoughts on education, you know, right away she told us, knowledge is power.
It is.
Your thoughts on her comment?
Oh, it's 100%. I absolutely think education is one of the few things that no one can take away from you. No matter what else happens in your life, you have that education and you have, like I said, those opportunities. Knowledge is power in being able to assess every situation. It opens up those doors, those choices. Where would I like to take my life? Not just career-wise, but hobby-wise, sports-wise, everything. Knowledge is the greatest power and one of the few things that can never be taken away.
What would you tell that one student out there that struggles with academics and thinking about quitting, but you know that the best thing is to move forward?
Well, I think that one of the things that doesn't always get said to them, I'm very involved in education at home. I'm on a board actually that creates opportunities for gifted youth who don't fit in well in the classroom setting. And I think the biggest thing is I understand school is not always fun, but you have to realize that the further you go in school, if you work hard now, that will open the door to more enjoyable learning experiences. For example, I worked hard at a younger age in school and had the opportunity to do all sorts of electives when I got to high school. So I chose to focus on math and science throughout high school, which are things I love. Do advanced chemistry, play with physics, which are things that aren't traditional classroom settings. So I think I understand it is hard, but keep your head up because it will do so much for you, and you will look back and you will thank your past self for working hard to get to your future.
Great advice. And what I want to do now is I'm not going to say put you on the spot, but I want to ask a question here regarding the sport of rodeo. Okay. And we're going to use that, that knowledge of power that you have.
I love it.
The sport of rodeo. It's not for everybody,
right?
And there are individuals out there that are anti-rodeo,
okay,
and due to the use of the animals.
Okay.
What would you tell to the folks out there that are not large supporters of rodeo on the safeties that's taken for the safety of these animals?
Well, I think the first thing is we do truly care about our animals. You can tell that talking to anyone about how much we truly love the animals. But even aside from that, this is a pay-to-play sport, and this is actually how people make their living. So everyone from the stock contractor to the contestants, it is in their best interest to take the best possible care of the animals because their paycheck depends on how well that animal performs. Sure. And it's a team sport. Every part of rodeo is a team sport. The rough stock events are judged not only on the contestant, but they are half judged on the horse. And the cowboys have the utmost respect and care for the horses.
We're going to take a quick break and we're going to see if we can get a few more words out of Miss Rodeo America, and we'll wrap up our interview right here on Colorado Sports Connection. Welcome back to Colorado Sports Connection. We're talking with the lovely and talented Miss Rodeo America, Catherine Merck. Now, we want the people out there to know you a little bit. I mean, we know that you've played rugby, okay? We know you like to, be outside. You're outdoor type of individual. But you've also done some ballet.
Yes.
Tell the audience about that.
I did classical ballet for 10 years, like every girl who loves pink. I wanted to be a ballerina. Unfortunately, I do have incredibly flat feet, so there was no career in ballet. But I filled the void and went 100% into horseback riding. I'm so thankful for the background of ballet because it gave me gave me a lot of discipline and body awareness, which I've been able to transfer into being an equestrian.
So maybe one day Dancing with the Stars?
I don't know about that, but I do have to say that's one of the only TV shows I watch. Okay. I love Dancing with the Stars.
That's a great show. Now, here you are, you're going to be traveling all over the United States, and I believe as Miss Rodeo America, you're going to put on 100,000 miles, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's going to be a lot of cowboys out there, and there's going to be a few that may want to, ask you on a date. So we're going to tell these cowboys out there that if they wanted to take Miss Rodeo America on a date, tell us the type of movies you like, your favorite restaurants.
Well, I normally say that I have a very reliable, wonderful 27-year-old who I love at home, who's a registered American quarter horse. So he's my best friend in the world. But I like all sorts of things. Actually, my favorite actor is Bing Crosby, Spokane boy.
Wow.
He went to Gonzaga also. So I love a fun Friday night in my life is listening. I have a collection of Bing Crosby records.
Now I have to say, you shocked me on that answer right there, Bing Crosby.
Yep.
I mean, exactly what else did, inspired you to be a big fan of his?
Part of it is that he is a Spokane native, but I'm an incredibly positive, enthusiastic person, and I really like to focus on the good things in the world. And I think those older musicals where there's singing, there's dancing, and frankly, there's a happy ending, I'm really drawn to because they reflect my attitude on the world. And he actually is the most heard human voice of all time because of his diverse song catalog, especially White Christmas. So I love his voice, I love his dancing. I just think he's truly talented and hilarious.
That's a great answer. Now, what about sporting events aside from rodeo?
Well,
football, baseball, basketball.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish all the way. I am a huge Notre Dame football fan. All the way. Seahawks, I'm a 12th man. So I do have to say I am a big football fan, but I also am a baseball lover. I have been a Mariners fan through thick and thin, but my favorite baseball player of all time is Cal Ripken Jr. of the Orioles. And I actually dressed up for him for Halloween for, I think, 5 years in a row.
Wow, you are a fan.
Yes, and it's great. It's a good talking point when you dress up as Cal Ripken Jr. Even when I've answered the door to trick-or-treaters, their parents will be like, "Are you Cal Ripken Jr.?"
Now,
orange and black.
Now you said for your website, Miss Rodeo America, you're going to be out there doing interviews. Will you be going to baseball stadiums across the country and interviewing ball players?
I sure hope so. I would love to do that. That'd be wonderful.
Have you ever had a caricature done of yourself?
I haven't.
Well, we're going to do that for you as we wrap up this show. But before we let you go,
okay,
what would you like to tell the people of Denver, Colorado about your visit and time here?
This has been absolutely just an amazing experience for me. I've been here 2 weeks and I feel so welcomed. I feel like I have a family here that I can come down and return every year to this stock show. So thank you for welcoming me with open arms and truly embracing the spirit of rodeo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely, the talented Miss Rodeo America, Catherine Merck. And we'll see you next week right here on Colorado Sports Connection.